Hey Aries, you know what? I just sat down with my deck today and the energy that came through for you is absolutely something else. Like seriously, I need to tell you about this because what the cards are showing is not what I expected at all when I pulled for your sign. So listen. I'm getting this really specific message about destiny and timing, and honestly Aries, something massive just shifted in your life path and you might not even realize it yet. The universe literally just recalibrated your entire trajectory and we need to talk about what this means for you moving forward. Okay, so the first card that came out, and I kid you not, this flew out of the deck, is the Fool. Now before you think anything about this card, let me tell you what I'm seeing here, because this is not about naivety or recklessness at all. The Fool in this context is showing me that you're standing at the edge of something completely new. Like picture yourself at the beginning of a journey that you didn't even know you were supposed to take. The universe just opened a door that wasn't there yesterday. I'm seeing you stepping into a path that feels both exciting and slightly terrifying because it's so different from what you planned. And here's the thing about the Fool energy, it requires you to trust without having all the answers. You're being asked to take a leap of faith into something that doesn't make logical sense yet but feels right in your soul. I'm seeing you releasing old versions of yourself, old plans, old expectations. There's this childlike wonder coming back into your life, this sense of possibility that you haven't felt in maybe years. The Fool is telling me you're about to experience life with fresh eyes. Whatever you thought you knew about your direction, about your purpose, about what you're supposed to be doing, all of that is being wiped clean so you can start from zero but with all your wisdom intact. This isn't about being foolish, it's about being brave enough to begin again. I'm seeing opportunities that require you to say yes before you feel ready. The universe is basically handing you a ticket to somewhere unexpected, and you have to decide if you're going to take it. And Aries, the energy here is so light and free, like there's a weight lifting off your shoulders that you've been carrying for so long you forgot it was even there. The Fool is about infinite potential, and I'm getting that your life is about to become so much more expansive than you currently imagine. This card is showing me new people entering your world who think differently than anyone in your current circle. I'm seeing travel or movement, not necessarily physical but definitely energetic. You're moving into a completely different frequency. And what's interesting is the Fool doesn't care about the past, doesn't care about mistakes or regrets. It's purely focused on the adventure ahead. So whatever happened before, whatever didn't work out, whatever you're still processing, the Fool is saying that chapter is done and you get to write something entirely new now. Moving on to the next card because the energy is building here. I pulled the Six of Swords and oh my goodness Aries, this confirms everything I just said about transition. The Six of Swords is literally the card of moving away from troubled waters into calmer territory. I'm seeing you in the process of leaving something behind. This could be a mindset, a situation, or relationship dynamic, a job, a location, but something is being left on the shore and you're moving toward peace. Now here's what's interesting about this card in your reading. It's not a dramatic exit. This isn't the Tower where everything explodes. This is a conscious, deliberate choice to move toward something better. I'm getting that you've been in a mental or emotional space that was draining you, where you felt stuck or limited. And now there's this movement happening. The Six of Swords is showing me that you're being guided. Like there's a sense that you don't have to figure out all the logistics yourself. When this card appears, it often means help is coming from unexpected sources. Someone might offer you advice, an opportunity, a resource, something that makes the transition easier than you thought it would be. I'm seeing water under the boat, which represents your emotions and subconscious, and the message is that even though you're leaving something familiar, the journey itself is gentle. You're not being forced out, you're choosing to go. And Aries, this card is telling me that where you're headed is worth the discomfort of leaving. I'm seeing you arriving at a place, either literally or metaphorically, where you can finally breathe, where the chaos calms down, where you have space to think clearly. The Six of Swords often appears when someone has been through a period of conflict or confusion, and they're ready for something more peaceful. And I have to say, the timing of this with the Fool is really significant because it's showing me you're not just leaving, you're also beginning. You're in this unique moment where endings and beginnings are happening simultaneously. I'm getting that you might feel a little sad about what you're leaving behind, even if you know it's necessary. There's often a bittersweet quality to this card. But the swords in the boat represent the lessons you're taking with you. You're not leaving empty-handed. Everything you've learned, all the growth, all the wisdom, that comes with you. And honestly, the Six of Swords is one of my favorite cards for healing because it shows recovery is not only possible, but actively happening. You're moving away from pain and toward hope. Now the third card I need to talk to you about is the Eight of Cups and Aries. When I pulled this, I actually paused because this card adds such an important layer to your reading. The Eight of Cups is about walking away from something that no longer serves your highest good, even when it's hard to leave. I'm seeing you standing in front of something that looks fine from the outside. Maybe it's a relationship that's comfortable but not fulfilling. Maybe it's a career that pays the bills but doesn't inspire you. Maybe it's a lifestyle that's safe but feels empty. And the Eight of Cups is saying you're ready to leave it behind in search of something more meaningful. Now here's what makes this card so powerful in your spread. It requires courage. It's easy to leave something that's obviously bad. It's much harder to leave something that's just okay because you know you deserve better. I'm seeing you climbing up a mountain, literally in the imagery of this card, moving toward higher ground. You're seeking emotional and spiritual fulfillment that you can't find where you are now. And Aries, I have to tell you, this card is often misunderstood as being about giving up or running away. But it's actually about having the strength to honor your truth even when others don't understand. I'm getting that people in your life might question your choices. They might say you're being impractical or throwing away something good. But you know deep in your soul that staying would be betraying yourself. The Eight of Cups is showing me that you're listening to your inner voice, that quiet knowing that says there's more out there for you. And I'm seeing nighttime in this card, which tells me this journey might feel lonely at times. You might be doing this alone. But there's moonlight guiding you, which represents your intuition lighting the way. You don't need external validation for this decision. You just need to trust yourself. I'm also getting that what you're leaving behind represented an old version of you. Like you've outgrown it. And staying would mean shrinking yourself to fit into something that's too small for who you're becoming. The Eight of Cups is deeply connected to personal evolution, and I'm seeing that you're evolving so fast right now that anything static feels suffocating. This card is telling me you're brave enough to choose growth over comfort, and that's going to change everything for you. Okay, so the fourth card came through and it's the Hierophant, and this is where things get really interesting because this card represents tradition, structure, education, and spiritual wisdom. Now in the context of everything we've talked about with the Fool and the Journey cards, the Hierophant is showing me that even though you're breaking away from convention in some ways, you're also seeking something real and grounded. I'm seeing you drawn to learning, to mentorship, to systems that have stood the test of time. The Hierophant often appears when someone is ready to commit to a practice or a path. This could be spiritual study, it could be formal education, it could be apprenticing under someone who has knowledge you want. I'm getting that you're hungry for wisdom right now. You want answers that actually mean something, not just surface-level quick fixes. The Hierophant is telling me you might be exploring belief systems, philosophies, or traditions that give you a framework for understanding life. And here's what's fascinating. This card can also represent a teacher or guide who enters your life. Someone who has walked the path before you and can show you the way. I'm seeing you being initiated into something. Like you're being welcomed into a circle or a community where you finally feel like you belong. The Hierophant is very much about finding your tribe, your people, the ones who get what you're about. Now this card can also indicate official commitments. So for some of you watching this, the Hierophant might be pointing to marriage, a business partnership, signing a contract, making something official. There's a sense of blessing and approval with this card. Like what you're doing is sanctioned by a higher power or by authority figures who matter. I'm also getting that the Hierophant is asking you to honor your values. To live according to your principles even when it's not easy or popular. This card has strong moral undertones and I'm seeing that you're being called to integrity. To do what's right even when no one's watching. And Aries, in combination with the other cards, the Hierophant is telling me that your new beginning has spiritual significance. This isn't just about external changes, it's about aligning with your soul's purpose. You're being asked to build something lasting, something with meaning, something that connects you to forces greater than yourself. The fifth card I pulled for you is the Two of Cups and Aries. This changes the entire tone of the reading because the Two of Cups is the card of partnership, connection, and mutual love. I'm seeing a significant relationship coming into focus for you. Now, this could be romantic, and for many of you it absolutely is, but it can also represent a business partnership or a deep friendship. What matters with the Two of Cups is equality. This is to people meeting each other at the same level, with the same commitment, with the same energy. I'm getting that you're about to experience, or you're currently experiencing, a connection that feels balanced in a way you haven't felt before. There's no chasing, no convincing, no one-sided effort. This is mutual. This is reciprocal. This is what you've been waiting for. The Two of Cups is showing me attraction, chemistry, understanding. I'm seeing to people looking at each other and just knowing, there's recognition here, like your souls have met before. And Aries, after everything the cards have shown about your journey and your courage to walk away from what doesn't serve you, the Two of Cups is the reward. It's the universe saying, you made space for this by leaving what was wrong, and now here's what's right. I'm seeing healing happening through this connection. If you've been hurt before, if you've been disappointed, if you've lost faith in relationships, the Two of Cups is restoring that faith. This person or this partnership is showing you what's possible when both people are ready, willing, and emotionally available. I'm also getting that there's a spiritual component to this connection. The caduceus symbol that often appears in this card represents healing and alchemy. This relationship is transformative. It's changing you for the better. You're becoming more of yourself because of this person, not less. And honestly, the timing of this card after the Eight of Cups is so telling, because it's showing me you had to leave the wrong person or the wrong dynamic to make room for the right one. The Two of Cups doesn't appear for people who are settling. It appears when there's genuine compatibility and potential for something beautiful, moving. To the Sixth card, and I pulled the Hermit for you, Aries, and this might seem contradictory after the Two of Cups, but actually it makes perfect sense. The Hermit is about introspection, solitude, and inner wisdom. I'm seeing you needing time alone to process everything that's happening. The Hermit is telling me that even though connections and opportunities are coming your way, you still need space to understand yourself and what you truly want. This card often appears when someone is in a phase of deep self-discovery. I'm getting that you're asking yourself big questions right now. Who am I? What do I really believe? What do I want my life to look like? And you can't answer these questions in the noise of everyday life. You need quiet. You need solitude. You need to disconnect from external opinions and tap into your own inner knowing. The Hermit carries a lantern which represents the light of truth, and I'm seeing you searching for your truth, not what you've been told or what's expected. And Aries, this card is so important because it's telling me that the answers you're seeking are already inside you. You don't need more information from outside sources. You need to listen to yourself. I'm also getting that the Hermit can represent a period of withdrawal from social activity. You might be spending more time alone, turning down invitations, needing to recharge. And that's exactly what you should be doing right now. This is not the time to force yourself to be social or to maintain connections that drain you. The Hermit is giving you permission to protect your energy and focus on your inner world. Now, this card can also indicate working with a spiritual teacher or guide, which connects back to the hierophant. I'm seeing you seeking wisdom from someone who has more experience or knowledge. But ultimately, the Hermit is about becoming your own guru. It's about trusting yourself so deeply that you don't need constant validation or advice from others. And honestly, after the journey you've been on, this time of introspection is necessary for integration. You need to process what you've learned, what you've experienced, what you've released. The Hermit is showing me that wisdom comes from reflection. The seventh card is Five of Swords, and okay, Aries. This card brings up conflict, and I need to explain what I'm seeing here because it's important. The Five of Swords traditionally represents arguments, defeat, and winning at all costs. But in the context of your reading, I'm getting that this is about a past situation where you had to fight for yourself. I'm seeing you walking away from a battle that you technically could have won but chose not to engage with because it wasn't worth your peace. The Five of Swords is showing me that you've dealt with someone who was competitive, who was trying to prove they were better than you, who was playing games. And you made the mature decision to not participate in that energy. You let them win whatever shallow victory they wanted because you understood that true winning is keeping your integrity. I'm seeing you being the bigger person in a situation where someone else was being petty or vindictive. And Aries, the cards are telling me that this experience taught you so much about who you are and who you want to be. The Five of Swords is often about learning that some battles aren't worth fighting. That sometimes the smartest thing you can do is walk away with your dignity intact. I'm also getting that this card might represent someone in your past or present who operates from ego and insecurity. Someone who felt threatened by you and tried to diminish you. And the message is that their behavior was never about you, it was always about them. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to defend yourself to people who are determined to misunderstand you. The Five of Swords is showing me that you're done with toxic competition and drama. You're choosing peace over being right. And that's actual strength. Real power is not engaging with people who want to pull you down to their level. Now the 8th card I need to share with you is Seven of Pentacles and Aries. This card is about patience and long-term investment. I'm seeing you in a moment of assessment where you're looking at what you've built and deciding if it's growing the way you hoped. The Seven of Pentacles often appears when someone has put in significant work and now they're waiting for results. I'm getting that you've been planting seeds. Whether in your career, your relationships, your personal development, and now you're in this in-between stage where you can see growth but you're not at harvest yet. And I have to tell you, this card is asking for patience. The universe is telling you that what you're building is taking root but it needs more time. You can't rush this process. I'm seeing you wanting to see results faster, wanting confirmation that you're on the right path. And the Seven of Pentacles is saying trust the timing. Everything you've invested is going to pay off but not necessarily on your schedule. Now here's what I love about this card in your reading. It shows that you're thinking long-term. You're not looking for quick fixes or instant gratification. You're willing to put in the work and wait for quality results. The Seven of Pentacles is telling me you have the wisdom to know that anything worth having takes time to develop. I'm also getting that this card can indicate a moment of reflection where you're asking yourself if you're putting your energy in the right place. Like you're evaluating your investments, whether that's time, money, emotional energy, and making sure they align with your goals. And the answer I'm getting from the cards is well, yes, what you're building is worth it. Keep going. Don't give up right before the breakthrough. The Seven of Pentacles is showing me that you're closer than you think to seeing tangible rewards for your efforts. The 9th card is Temperance and Aries. When this card appeared, I felt this wave of calm energy because Temperance is all about balance, moderation, and divine timing. I'm seeing you learning to blend different aspects of your life in a harmonious way. The angel in this card is mixing water between two cups, which represents alchemy and creating something new by combining elements in the right proportion. Temperance is telling me you're finding your center after a period of extremes. Maybe you were all work and no play, or all emotion and no logic, or all action and no rest. And now you're learning to integrate. You're discovering that life works better when you don't go to extremes in any direction. I'm getting that Temperance is asking you to be patient, which connects to the Seven of Pentacles. The universe is saying everything is unfolding at the perfect pace even if it doesn't feel that way to you. This card is deeply spiritual and I'm seeing you connecting with higher guidance, with your angels or spirit guides, with a force that's orchestrating things behind the scenes. Temperance is showing me that you're being protected and guided through this transformation. There's a sense that even when things feel uncertain, there's a divine plan at work. I'm also getting that this card represents healing. If you've been through emotional turmoil or stress, Temperance is the cooling balm that soothes and restores. You're finding peace within yourself. You're learning to regulate your emotions and respond rather than react. And honestly, this is such a beautiful card to have in your reading because it indicates maturity and wisdom. You're not the same person you were even a few months ago. You've evolved. You've learned. You've grown. And Temperance is saying that growth is showing in how you handle challenges now versus how you used to. The final card I pulled for you, Aries, is the Ten of Swords. And I know this card looks intense, but hear me out because in your reading it's actually a positive message. The Ten of Swords represents an ending that had to happen. I'm seeing a cycle completing, a chapter closing, something that was painful but necessary coming to its conclusion. And here's the thing about the Ten of Swords, it's rock bottom, but it's also liberation because you can't go any lower. The worst is over. I'm seeing you having gone through something that felt like betrayal or defeat or complete loss, and you survived it. You're still here. And the message is that you don't ever have to go through that again because you've learned the lesson. The Ten of Swords is showing me that what's done is done. There's no going back. And that's actually freeing because it means you're not stuck in that cycle anymore. I'm getting that this card represents old patterns, old wounds, old stories that are finished. You're not that person anymore. You're not in that situation anymore. The Ten of Swords is the ultimate card of release, and I'm seeing you finally letting go of something you've been holding onto for way too long. Whether it's regret, resentment, hope for something that's not coming back, whatever it is, it's time to release it. And Aries, what makes this card so powerful at the end of your reading is that it confirms everything we talked about. The new beginning with the Fool, the transition with Six of Swords, the walking away with Eight of Cups, all of it led to this moment of complete closure. And when I say complete, I mean complete. The Ten of Swords doesn't leave anything unfinished. It's total ending energy. And from this space of emptiness, of having nothing left to lose, you can truly start fresh. You can rebuild exactly how you want. You're not carrying old baggage into your new chapter. You're free. So let me bring all of this together for you, Aries, because the story your cards are telling is absolutely remarkable. You hit the bingo of life by having the courage to completely transform your path. Your destiny changed because you chose yourself over comfort. You walked away from what was familiar but unfulfilling, and the universe is rewarding that bravery with new opportunities, meaningful connections, and spiritual growth. Everything you thought you knew about your life is being restructured, and it's better than what you planned. The old you had to die so the real you could emerge. And I'm seeing that the coming months are about building something authentic, something aligned with your soul, something that actually makes you happy. The cards are saying trust the journey even when it's scary, trust yourself even when others doubt you, and trust that what's meant for you will find you when you're ready. Alright, Aries. That's everything the cards wanted me to share with you today. I hope this resonated and gave you clarity about what's happening in your energy right now. If you felt this reading, let me know in the comments. Take care of yourself and I'll see you in the next one.